Well, another episode of, well, yes, this, the Nailsin ratings, but also it's been another episode of The Walking Dead. So, did they do any better this week despite spiraling down the toilet bowl? Well, overall, they're still circling that toilet bowl, but this episode, called The Key, was better than most. Finally, we get the actual showdown between, well, not the ultimate one, but obviously, finally, a showdown between Rick and Negan, and that part of the show went well. Now, granted, it's simplistic. The two guys fight, they exchange insults to one another and all this sort of thing. And Rick almost completely hands it to Negan, but he makes his getaway, only to have the surprise return of Jadis, the Yoda-talking weirdo. For why she didn't just outright kill him, I guess she has some torture in mind for Negan, what have you. But now Negan is stuck with her. Meanwhile, his Lieutenant Simon is making a move to just take over from Negan. Just, gee, I hope he's dead. Of course, we know that Negan will eventually escape and probably do in on Simon there. Meanwhile, Dwight, geez, out of the frying pan into the fire with Simon here, because Simon decided it's scorched earth, kill them all, and sort it out later. Gee, looks worse, doesn't it? Meanwhile, a new factor was introduced, probably something to do with that helicopter that Rick saw. All of a sudden, Hillary Clinton shows up. And offers a new and better way than what Rick and his crew have been up to. So Maggie meets her and her two lieutenants, and of course it's all women involved, and that's no accident. Of course, because the future is female. Don't insult my intelligence and tell me that's just some coincidence. No, it is. And another thing here is this is possibly they're going to go ahead and jump ahead to where the comic book is, where there is this other community that's much more advanced and got its stuff together, and it has more people. I think they claimed 1,000 or whatever. And the comic book has already gotten into that, and maybe they're just going to go ahead and introduce that. Whether or not the Whisperer story will happen, I don't know. I'm thinking it probably will in some form or fashion, and probably involve Jadis being a part of that. I don't know, but then again, maybe Jadis is going to meet her in when she takes too long describing her evil plans to torture Negan, and Negan will get the better of her and kill her. I mean, that's just the way these things go, because, sorry Jadis, but Negan's more of a star than you. So, that's where we are. And the same old arguments of, let's not become the monster we're trying to kill, which has been going on since the show began. Repetition continues to dog this show. And of course, so the shining light of, they're calling her Georgie and whatever group she's coming from, and she had all the wisdom of the ages that she bestowed upon them, and all that sort of thing. And so eventually you're going to have to find, there's something wrong here when they become more ingratiated with this other community that they didn't know anything about. So, but overall, the show is pretty much saved by just the back and forth between Rick and Negan. And here we have Rick where he should have been all along. Look, when he's unarmed and he has no options, I understand, and it's certainly the killing scene where, when Glenn and Abraham met their ends, that was totally credible, and I bought it. But to constantly have Rick on his knees and all this stuff, and the idea that he's going to be the leader of the group still after deciding, okay, we got to take on, the saviors and all that. Boy, it is so much damage has been done to his character at this point. But here he is, fighting it out with Negan, and and even, guess what? Who else showed up? Yes, that's right, the undead walkers. We don't see much of them anymore, even though the show is named after them. Even they showed up and participated in this magnificent duel between the two characters here. So, so that's why I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. To bring it to 4 or 5 at this point is very difficult to do due to the awful damage done to the series overall in the past 2 seasons. Even season 6. Season 6 is not as down in the dumps as the last 2, this one and the 7th one, but boy, oh boy, it's just been spiraling down since. And so basically, Walking Dead probably should have been a 5-season show, and they should have wrapped it up there, or at least had the 6th one be a wrap-up season. I don't, wherever they're going with this little curve here, I suspect is what I surmised here, or something, or variation thereof. And is that enough to save the show? No, I don't think so. But, yeah, I'm already in it, so let's see where it goes. It's probably just going to fizzle out, because that's what it looks like is what's happening. There's stories about lawsuits. There's stories about actors wanting more money. Not showing up for fan events like they used to. Boy, the signs are there that it's starting to sink, and it becomes a bit undeniable. So it's sad, because this was a phenomenal show. It deserved the attention it got. It really earned it at the outset. Now, no. So if you're like me, you're some weird freak who keeps watching it. But other than that, I don't know why anybody would tune in at this point, and why, beyond the obsessiveness of myself, is the only reason to keep watching it. So there you go. Walking Dead, The Key, 3 out of 5 stars. And we'll do it again next week. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe. And check out my little stores of goodies down below. Oh, and by down below, I mean, of course, in the link description. Down below, yeah. Anyway, thanks again.
God, what stinks? All right, it's us.
I'm sorry, but all our lines are busy. Please hold, as your call is very important to us. I told you all our lines are busy. If you're going to be bitchy about it, then hang up and please don't call again.
Oh, don't go in there. Anyway, 9 months later, I was born. Bravo.